Yo, what's good? I'm Jeff Weiss.
What's the deal? It's your girl Free.
And you were listening to The Truth Hurts. We are sitting down with our man, OT The Real.
What's up, brother?
What's good? How are you? Yeah. How you doing on this Friday afternoon?
Pretty good, pretty good. About to drive to Vegas as soon as we're done here.
Yeah, right. What brought you to LA in the first place?
Tour.
Yeah.
Tour, yeah. Me and Benny, just in Derringer, just finished up Money and Power tour.
Yeah.
Ended it in Santa Ana, and I stayed for like a week.
That's cool. How did you link with those guys in the first place?
Just grinding, music, just, you know what I mean? Just grinding through music, meeting people, and making relationships.
What about their music do you feel like sparked like a kinship between the three of you guys?
Just like birds of a feather flock together type shit. Like, and plus, like, that's what I was listening to. I was listening to all Benny at that time, like, when I first started engaging with them. I had already been running around. That's what I listened to. So I was like, it's kind of surreal,
Yeah.
you know, to be going. This is like my third or fourth time hitting the road with them. But this time I was a headliner, so it was like, you know, the money situation's different. You know what I mean? Just grinding up.
And you're from Massachusetts originally, right?
Originally, yeah.
Yeah. What part of Massachusetts?
A city called Fitchburg.
Okay. What's Fitchburg like?
I wouldn't really know how to put it into analogy to a city out here, because I don't really. But it's a city, but it's you know, it's probably about 45 minutes outside of Boston.
Did it used to be like a mill town?
I don't even fucking.
Like Lowell?
Lowell is like half hour away or some shit.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to Lowell.
Lowell and Lawrence, and yeah, it's different out there. You know what I mean? It's but I left there when I was like 17, and I turned 18 in jail, and I got out, ankle bracelet, cut it off, and, you know, left there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your family like?
Good. Everybody's cool. I got 3 kids.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm with the girl, all with the same girl. So.
Yeah. That's cool. And then, what was the first? Do you have like a first memory in life?
My first memory in life. Shit. Nah, I ain't ready for that. You knew he was gonna ask me some shit like that. He was waiting for me.
Well, it's like when you do an interview with a random stranger, basically. It's always kind of awkward because you're like, what is this person gonna ask me? So then you're
My
like,
first
you have to
memory.
kinda get behind.
My first memory.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't even know. I gotta look back. I don't even know, man. I gotta look back, man. Shit.
What was like inside the house like? What was the demographic? Did you have both parents? Tell us like a background.
When I was
of
younger,
that.
I did. When I was
Okay.
really young, I did. But by the time I was getting, you know, 11, 12, 13, I was, you know, once my dad was out, I was able to do what I want. That's why I think it's important to always have a male in the house. No, or not necessarily male, not to take nothing from a female, but I'm saying, like,
Both parents.
they always end up having the mom always, you know what I'm saying? But if the kid don't feel like he's going to, you know, have a real brick wall when he gets home, he'll keep pushing and pushing. I know, because that's what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure I'm there around for him. He's got to know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, you better not. You know, he knows that I can't do that, because if I go home, I'm going to have to answer
Right.
to him. You know what I mean? So it might deter him from doing something. You know what I mean?
Right. So your dad left when you were 11?
He didn't leave. They just
okay.
they split.
They split
yeah,
up.
he didn't.
Okay, so you still had him in your life though. He
Oh
just
yeah,
wasn't there.
I talked to him yesterday.
Okay.
It's my guy.
What about siblings? Did you have any siblings?
Nope. No.
Only child?
Yep. Like, I know, like, the people that my parents ended up with got kids,
Right.
but no, you know what I'm saying? So, but I don't know them like that.
Right.
What were you? Do you remember the first like music that you discovered on your own?
When I was real young, I was into a lot of different shit. Like, I was into, like, these are different time frames here, but, like, from, like, Sublime, like Brad Noel and them, real heavy. Yeah, I really fucked with that cat, man. And then, first DMX, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. You see what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
50 Cent, Power of the Dollar. All the 50 Cent joints before Get Rich or Die Trying was like shit I was into, real heavy.
And this is in Massachusetts.
Yeah, this is when I was like a little kid in school and shit.
Right.
That's like that. You talk about the first.
Were you just buying like
Right.
like CDs and mixtapes?
Shit.
Like,
Yeah, it was tapes too. It was
Yeah.
like it was like that. It was like that time between
Right.
both.
Yeah, because I I'm not from that time, but my siblings are older, so I remember that time. We listened to DMX too on cassette, Nas on cassette, Illmatic,
Mobb
Stillmatic,
Deep,
all that.
Yeah.
You know,
music kind of took me. You know, I was in the streets, so I was in the music that like people would kind of talking about shit they would. You know, it was more relatable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the music industry wasn't there.
Right.
The music, it didn't matter. The music industry was like, I think at that time it was a lot of down south. Even dudes in New York, everybody was trying to make bops. Everybody was trying to make, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, you know, I would record and fuck around, but never put nothing out. You know?
Right.
And when did you start like? Did you start like by freestyling with rap?
Yeah, I think that's all it was. You know, that's all it was. And then over the years, I knew I was kind of good at it, but it's kind of like a weird thing to be good at. You know, and I'm in Philly, and you know, I really found like some pockets where I could make money out when I was younger in Philly, and I was focused on that. You know?
So you moved to Philly when you were 17?
I was 18. I cut the bracelet off in meth, so I went down to Delaware for like a year or two, and ended up getting booked down there. And Massachusetts wouldn't come get me, so Delaware put me on this probation where I had to go. I had to go to the prison on Friday night and stay there till Sunday night, and then I had to go to high school during the day. And then Friday night I had to be back inside the prison, standing on the footprints, like, you know, let the gate close at 6.
Yeah, I saw like an interview with you where you said you were like a 19-year-old junior in high school.
Yeah, they had me all types. It was weird, you know what I mean? Like, it was, you know, weird situation, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I'm wanted in this one state, but they won't pay to extradite me. So it's like,
right.
So the state I'm booked in is like, all right, well, then you're on probation, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then I ran from that, you know what I'm saying? And I went to Philly, and I was out there for a long time. And then when I got booked in Philly, that's when shit hit the fan.
What made you pick Philly out of all the places? Was it just random?
Man, listen, right? There was this guy down in Delaware, and he was just like coming downtown. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have you open up for the PD Crack in Philly on this date and da-da-da-da. And I'm on probation. We get raided, and they don't find much, but they find enough to book me. Mm-hmm. And I'm on probation, so you'd think I'd have a detainer in Delaware, but they're so country and fucked up down at the bottom down there that if you get booked on a Friday, you could bail out before Monday, before that PO comes back to work. You know what I'm saying? So if you get booked on a Friday, hurry the fuck up and bail out before that probation detainer hits. And that's what I did, and I bail out, and we're getting ready to hit the road. It's like Saturday night. I know Monday morning they're coming. You know what I'm saying? So I'm out Saturday. Fuck. And little ding ding goes off on my man's phone, who was living down there with me. He's like, oh shit, that fucking show in Philly's tonight. And I was like, yeah, I hear you, but we ain't, you know. I was going to stay at some girl's college and somewhere way out on the other side of Pennsylvania. And he's like, no, we got to drive through Philly. Fuck it, let's go there. So we pulled up. The show wasn't happening. It was a bus, but there was a bunch of other rappers there from Philly. And I met them, got exchanged info. Everybody was fucking around playing their music outside. And then I slid, went to the girls' school, and once like I won my welcome out there, and I was trying to figure out where to go, cats in Philly answered the phone, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? There's no heat upstairs in the attic, but the studio's up, you know?
Right.
And I went there and got dropped off, and once I was there, I didn't know what the fuck, I just knew it was Philly. Once I got there, and I was like, once I landed, and I was figuring out where I'm at, and they're like, yeah, so this is Kensington, you know? So I was like, all right. And then I learned that like the neighborhood was like famous for being fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But you know, there's a lot of good people.
Now, when you got there, because we see it now, we see Kensington a lot because of the rapper Skrilla.
Yep,
when you got there, was it like that then?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been like that.
If you look at my early videos, it's the same type thing. But you know, that's where I landed, and that's where I came up at, and that's where, you know, I mean, I built who I am out of there, but
right.
You know, Skrilla is from there. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different, you know what I mean? Like it's, you know, so you know, but that's my man. You know what I mean? That's my man.
Yeah, shout out to Skrilla. We had him on here too. He's
come on, man. My man got dictionary word of the year and shit. Come on, man.
But when did you start? Like 2018, you started actually releasing music. 2017,
2019.
Yeah, that 25 Soldiers Freestyle.
Yeah. Well, I think that was just like on YouTube, you know, because that's like Swizzy's.
Yeah.
But like even that, like, you know, I couldn't put it out on platforms. I could put it on YouTube and put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like Swiss Beats was like showing me love on it.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
So I was like, damn, you know, I was like,
Dope.
I know I'm cracking ground.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, all I need is sometimes a little bit of light, you know, to keep it swinging.
Yeah.
But we weren't, you know, even then we wasn't getting no money.
Right.
Yeah.
Who embraced you first to kind of get you the buzz that you grew to have? Which artists you feel like embraced you?
Arab, Oskino, Black De Niro. There's a lot of cats from Philly.
Yeah.
And then Meek.
Mills.
Yeah, fucking right. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Roscoe P. Coltrane. Was
And
the one
Skull.
to put me
I mean,
on.
no, well, hold on. That's different. That's a different story. Skull, right, was like I was hearing about him.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, damn, like, you know, there's like the DVD rappers, and then there was like Gilly and them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there was like State Property,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, I loved State Property.
Yeah, come on, man. Like,
Oh
what?
my God.
State, I mean, that shit has definitely influenced everybody.
Yes, I loved it.
Especially us in Philly. But like when I was seeing what Skull was doing, Skull was like doing the shit I wanted to do, and he was with the Neptunes and shit.
Yeah.
Like he was on, he just had his whole situation. I was like, and I heard he was super active, like into it, like with because it's nasty out there in Philly. It could get bad, you know. So I can only imagine if I was from Philly my whole life, the beefs that I would have. You know what I mean? I got to come out here when I was 20 years old. Go out there when I was 20 years old. I had a little bit of sense, you know what I'm saying, to move a certain way, you know. If I'd had to learn some of the lessons that I learned out there, I don't know if I'd be around. But yeah, so I heard he got locked up for some crazy shit. Then I got booked, and I get my GED in the jail. And this is when I'm fighting the Philly case, you know, and it's like 2015. No. It's 2000 like 2011 maybe, 2010. I'm in there, and I get called down to the GED room after I pass it, and they're like, yo, we want to make you a tutor, and they make me a tutor, and he was the other tutor. So it was me and him down there, you know, and I knew who he was, but it was like, there's nothing to check. I'm in jail with him, you know what I'm saying? I want to ask. I know he was down for a bad joint, you know what I mean? So, but we were cool, you know, we were tight in there. We used to say what up every day, and I went up, did mine, he went up, did his. He got a little more than me, but when he came home, you know, I had reached out to him, and he was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So we linked right up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's a good dude. Shout out Roscoe P. Coltrane, man.
Yeah, no.
Solid dude, man.
Incredible rapper, too. Like, the stuff on Star Trek is like,
Come on, man. Yeah, there's definitely a good place for his music.
Yeah.
It's just different.
What first hit you when you went to Philly, like, versus, like, where you'd been before?
You know, there's a lot, like, well, I landed in Kensington, right? So it's like saying everybody's all over the ground everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, everywhere, like, around. You'll see them in every major city, but, like, in Philly, it's concentrated. There'll be, like, for, like, a mile straight, you know, every couple blocks, there'll be, like, 50 people, 40 people, you know, 8 people. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of people, man. Motherfuckers is lighting each other on fire and shit down. It's nasty, man. You know, if you want to do drugs, though, and you don't give a fuck, and you want to just unravel, that's like Disney World down there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, everybody's getting their little cards on the first. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And as soon as that shit hits, it's smacking everything, every little thing you can imagine. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, it's always interesting, too. You have a song called Fishtown on the new album, which, like, became, like, the hipster area, right?
Yeah, Well, Fishtown was, like, this, like, neighborhood that when I don't know originally, but, like, when I got there, it was, like, this Irish neighborhood. It was tough, you know, tough neighborhood, but good people. Like I said, like, when I hit Philly, like, the people that took me in, they were all Puerto Rican, and they you know, I lived with them. And they took me in. They were the best. You know, they're the best. You know, they're family to me. You know, some of them live in Chicago now, and everybody's all spread out. But I'm still with everybody.
Right.
Pretty much from
your
back
day
in the
ones.
Everybody's still, from Philly and in Mass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Fishtown was like the next neighborhood over. That's like where I started. You know what I'm saying? Really getting to that. And then I went to jail. You know what I'm saying? You know, came home. Had made a family and shit, and that's when I started putting music out when I came out. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, shit.
The longest you did in jail?
It was like 5.5.
Oh, okay.
But like 2016, I started like recording and trying to do shit, but we didn't put nothing on the platforms till 2019, 2020. So.
And then did it take off pretty immediately?
I mean, you know, everything was like how I met you.
Mm-hmm. Word of mouth.
Yeah, but word of mouth by certain people.
Yeah.
Like
That matters.
Not that like everybody's equal, but some people hold such influence because of who they are. You know, it might be somebody who is like an executive in some music that he came up listening to this one artist. So if he likes him, other people will learn to like him. Or it could be somebody who's in the streets their whole life that people really, really respect, and they'll be like, "Yo, this shit, you know, hits me, blah blah blah," and I like this shit. And it's like that's how it happened.
Yeah.
People called people like, "Hey, can you do this?" It wasn't like this fucking
totally.
big glittery.
Well,
I never did. You know what I mean? I never did nothing. You know what I mean?
Now, when I went out to Philly, for, like I did a book reading out there, and my homie brought Roscoe, and we were like smoking a blunt like outside of the book reading, and he starts showing me your videos on his phone, and I was like, "Yeah, this is hard." I don't know when it moves somebody like that, who obviously is a legend in his own right. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, legend.
The
in his
hardest
own
people
right.
to impress are other rappers. You know, it's
I
like
love that.
You can't ask for it. You can't be like, see where I'm at with it. It ain't like trying to be like, yeah, I'm not. You gotta just put the dope out. You know what I mean? Put the work out, and then let everybody chirp about it. Because if you're standing there trying to sell it, it ain't the same. You gotta let them sell you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make the product.
I mean, it's interesting, like your rise versus some like most people now, which I feel are like they have like almost like a viral gimmick kind of, or they have even like who I love Skrilla's music, like I think he's incredible, but like it's interesting that like even though he was already big, it took like a meme to blow him up to like the biggest level.
I would say this. I would say that you hit the highest level, and when you do, marketing companies come, and you know they have ways to further your shit. But I think that he, you know, just on their own, people hit that. And when they hit that, that's when those people come to get people to do that. Because there's like TikTokers and shit that you can pay, that company labels will pay. It is what it is. Like, I mean, you got to have the paper to play with. But bro was doing that shit without any of that.
Totally.
Right.
He had the people out there with him that know him.
Well, I've been thinking a lot about it, right? Because I think his music is like people mistake, like there is a lot of depth to his music, the way he's like mixing like African rhythms or what he's even saying, like, and there's like a real smarts, I think, even though it's kind of like over the top.
Shit is definitely crazy down there though. LA's crazy too.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of shit, like we were just talking about, I was telling somebody how crazy the tailgating is in Philly at the Eagles games and shit. And they were like, and I was like, yo, it's blah, 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 blah. And the cats, Oakland fans were like, dudes up here were like, yeah, they don't let us tailgate no more, bro. So it's like, you know, it seems like it's just turned up. Tailgate is when, like, before the football games, there's just parking lots all around the stadium. And everybody just pulls up way early and is grilling food and just parking lots full of people partying. And, you know what I mean? And it's lit in Philly. You definitely should check it out, you know. But I was telling the dude, you know, he was like, yeah, they wouldn't even let us tailgate no more in Oakland. Like, it's just turned up everywhere.
Right.
It's turned up different ways, but it's turned up everywhere. You know what I mean?
So when you were locked up, were you like freestyling a lot, writing?
Yeah, in jail. I was in jail's where I started, you know, really going in, battling people and shit, and just crazy joints, man. Guards in the tower, shutting down yards and shit because they thought something else was going on because it looked like some big face-off. You know what I mean? It's gotta look.
Which one were you in?
Oh shit! I mean, and that pertaining to that would be Camp Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was all the job in Massachusetts. I was in Worcester House. Delaware, I was in Georgetown Correctional Facility, and I was in Delaware VOP Center, and then I was in CFCF in Philly, Graterford, Camp Hill, and Mercer. Yeah, so it's been like seven joints, 4 in Philly, 1 in Mass, and 2 in Delaware.
So I imagine the politics are like extremely different from how it is versus California.
They wouldn't even
right,
know,
I was going to ask.
A lot of cats wouldn't even know what that word is. How that word they wouldn't understand how that pertains to jail, really. I don't say understand, but I did a lot of time, and I was just somewhere too. Yeah, dudes with politics. I said, what's that? When you guys say politics, he's like, that's when people got to get with who they get with. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Cali term for it.
I'm not saying it ain't like that nowhere, but where I was at, nah, man, it was, it was who was who. Philly would kind of click up. Pittsburgh would click up. Detroit would click up. New York dudes would click up. I mean, but
it wasn't based around race like how it is out here.
Nah. And then the dudes who wish it was based about race, they kind of got exiled quick. There's not really too much room for that. You know what I mean? Not in the state system. Like I said, I'm not qualified to speak on the next state over.
Right.
But where I was at, it wasn't a whole lot. A couple cats didn't like me, you know. couple of skinhead cats and shit like that.
Oh, okay.
That they didn't me rapping and fuck,
Right.
because I fucked with everybody. I played basketball,
Right.
football. It was like sports camp in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
how was your experience in there? Because you were young when you went, right?
yeah, well, yeah. When I was real young, And I was so young in there because I was 17 in there, in the men's jail in Massachusetts.
They tried you as an adult?
Yeah, and I was so little in there that it was like no one bothered me. Like,
Okay.
People felt like weirdos bothered me. I was so little. You know what I mean? It wasn't even like,
Right.
oh, it was like, why is he here? He's 17 years old. They're like, he's about to turn 18. The judge tried him as an adult. I learned a lot of lessons and shit.
What was like? Were the lessons that you learned?
Just mind your business. Every joke's not for you to laugh at. Don't look inside anybody's shit. You hear somebody's, just stay out of shit. Just stay out of shit. Mind
Did
your
you learn
business.
not to take stuff from people? I hear in jail.
In
that's
jail,
amazing.
I wasn't taking nothing from nobody. When I was
Okay.
that little, I was sitting there. I was a young kid.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about that. But on the street, yeah.
Yeah.
On the street,
No, but like how people say when you go to jail, like there's like documentaries I've seen and they'll say don't take anything from other inmates.
Oh, you mean
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's that whole thing of that whole if you take something you owe something type shit.
Right.
But dudes will joke around about it just to tell you about that. Like, yo, don't let nobody leave a candy bar on your bed. Don't eat it. If someone leaves food on your bed, take it and put it out the door and leave it out there. Shit like that. But I didn't see too much of that. But I work out. Once what I'm saying, and you ride out for yourself, you'll be all right.
Right.
Do you feel like it left you with any like psychological scars?
I guess. But if I'd have been somewhere else going through something else, I'd have been psychologically scarred.
Yeah,
from that.
no, I mean like I talked to a lot of artists and they're like, yeah, it left me real traumatized in some ways.
I mean, I hear you, and I'm not knocking them, but that's what we signed up for.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
part of it. Is going in. You know what I
Did
mean?
you feel it changed you in any way?
Yeah. It made me like, it's super respectful, super like, excuse me, thank you, excuse me, yeah, shit like that. Everybody does it. You know what I mean? Where I was at, it was very, because if you don't, it'd be like, damn, like, you don't worry about the fight. You worry about, I'm gonna lose commissary. I'm gonna lose my TV. I'm gonna lose the part. I'm gonna be in the twist. I ain't gonna make pro just because I don't want to be reckless and bump some old head who got life and shit. He don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here acting tough. Like, nah, you learn to like flow with the river. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that ain't, but of course that's like a huge thing. I don't want to make this whole thing talking about that, but that is a huge thing that'll shape you. And, it also, being able to walk shows that you are who you say you are. So then when you come home and you start rapping and shit like that, it all kind of meshed.
Music matches.
Yeah, it meshed. And then the people like ARAB gave me, love right away. Oskino did a video with me right away. And that shit, to people like me and certain people that mattered, you know. But it just, like I said, it takes time. I learned that.
Yeah.
Right.
It takes time, but it never stops growing. It's like it takes longer to go from 0 to 10,000 than it does from 10,000 to 100,000. So once you start rolling, you're rolling. Nobody, and then you start getting a couple racks a month, and then you start touching 5 digits, and you're like, damn, like I'm making, as much as all the kids who got good jobs and did good in school. I'm fucking my life up. Okay, I caught up a little bit. I didn't say I caught all the way up, but I'm catching up.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, now I'm getting paper now. Now I'm doing what I want to do. And that really beats it.
Right. When did you decide that you were going to put your lifestyle, and I won't actually say, but it's obvious what you had going on.
Before. Yeah.
So when did you decide that you were going to, let me make music about this? I know it's your
experience. Because that's the shit I liked. That's all I ever liked. I didn't like that. I don't like watching Transformers and shit.
Right.
No offense to that. There's just certain shit, if it's not believable, if it's not realistic, I just can't really get my attention. And with music, I like popping shit. Like I came home and started talking crazy about people in my neighborhood that did nut shit or that told, and I would just be buzzing on like Facebook and in my neighborhood,
right?
Getting 1,000 views.
Your city's
and I was
Facebook.
Like, boom. Yeah, in Philly though, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's Philly, and then it spread to like me going at other rappers and fucking with other rappers in the city, and then Fred the Godson and them, rest in peace to him, kind of brought me into New York, and I met Nems and Heat Makers, and then did music with Jim Jones, Joel Ortiz, and then, I just, everybody in New York, Saigon, New York kind of embraced me. Green Lantern, yeah. Green Lantern, yep, Smoke DZA.
Yeah.
Shit happens, like I see some shit like Smoke DZA and Green Lantern are on a live, and one of them mentions me. Next thing you know, I'm hitting Green Lantern up. Next thing you know, I'm getting beats.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I put Benny Butcher on a track. Then I put Millie's on a track. We got Uncle Murder on a track. All of a sudden, I got a tape done with Green Lantern. Boom, I got a distro situation now. That's how I got my distro. Mm-hmm. Shout out Next Records, Sony, Orchard, all them folks. So the shit just be rolling, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just basically put what you liked in your life experience.
Yeah, I put what I want to listen to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If I wasn't,
You think you make it for people that's in that lifestyle?
Yeah, I do. But like also like, maybe it's like a whiff of it, so they don't have to go do it themselves. There's a lot of people that use it to work out too now. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing some of like the biggest gyms.
What about like it's kind of an annoying question, I'm sure, to ask, but like what about like the racial element of like being a rapper who's like like a white rapper? Like were you? Do you feel that played any like?
Yeah,
not like you're gonna
no. I mean, listen, like you wearing your shit on your. If you're a rapper, right, usually wearing your heart on your sleeve, right? So the same breaks that you probably catch over here, you probably get your balls broke over there. You know what I mean? So everybody, some people are just gonna be like, man, I am not even fucking with that shit.
Yeah.
And you gotta respect that. You know what I mean? Some people just don't. And I respect it. I mean, and then some people really do. If you look at my fans and shit, I don't want to. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to speak too soon, but from the looks of it, like I'm a white rapper, but my fans ain't predominantly white. I don't think. Like, shout out to all my fans.
Well, I mean,
you get embraced for every race.
Yeah, you've been embraced by like kind of the legends of, especially the legends of Philly, right?
Yeah,
like all state property, Meek Mill.
I'm very blessed, man, for Philly. Even some of the cats I didn't name, I'm very blessed, and I'm grateful. And I'll always carry Philly on my back. Like, I know I'm born and raised. People like to ask where you from, but I'm a Philadelphian. My kids are born and raised in Philadelphia. My family, my woman, everybody's in Philadelphia.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I went to jail there, came home to there. Like, that's my home. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
But, is what it is.
What do you think people get wrong about Philadelphia?
I don't know.
Like people always, like it's famous, like the city where like everyone talks shit about, like, oh, they booed Santa Claus, or it's like a famous.
Yeah, no, listen, man, a drunken ass whooping's only one corner away at any time.
No, I mean, I've been out to Philly.
Whether you're giving one or taking one, you know what I mean? But
I like the way y'all talk.
But also, like, I probably have it both, Massachusetts and I think my accent's like Massachusetts and Philly.
Yeah, it's mixed.
Yeah, right. And I love being in New York too, man. I love the East Coast, man. I do. I love Boston, Philly, New York. Chicago's nice. Coming out here is necessary, though. It's a whole different wave. I love it out here. I love the weather.
Mm-hmm. Did you come out here more often when you were, like, in Philly getting up?
Nah, I was staying put, locked down, like not realizing that, you're trapping yourself because you don't want to miss nothing.
Right.
So you're like, you think, why would I leave? But, like, you're missing so much. I got friends, who are still, doing crazy things, and I'll be like, yo, I got this show, some of the legends are gonna be there with me. You gotta come and be back there with us. And at the last minute, all of them, they're like, hey man, I can't miss this. My phone, and I'm just like, all right, I get it though. You gotta pick.
Right.
You gotta pick.
I understand that.
What's your currency that you're chasing? Sometimes it's in here. Yeah. Sometimes it's your pockets. Sometimes you gotta go for your pockets though. But
I wanted to ask about like 25 Soldiers, like Freestyle. Like, how did that song kind of come about? Because that's just us being outside and recording, finding somebody hit me, man. It might have been my manager Breeze. I think it was Breezy. Aubrey, yeah.
Yeah, Aubrey.
Yeah, shout out Breeze. I think Breeze, they hit me and was like, yo, there's this beat out right now. It's crazy. You'll fuck it up. You gotta just do it. So I went in on it, and I was like, me and the guys were all together. If you see the video, we were all together one night. And I was like, yo, let's just shoot this real quick, We didn't need to get crazy clothes. And if you look in that video, that is where, like, look at the date on that. I mean, that was showing Kensington and showing all that shit way before. You know what I'm saying? And it started to become cool then. But, it's definitely gotten turned up. Now, Skrilla done turned Kensington to a
Turned it
tourist
up.
attraction. That shit, people are coming to Philly.
He told me to come. I'm gonna come.
Future and
Skrilla.
them, Future and them going down there to see Skrilla, like when they come to Philly, take me
That's
down
crazy.
there. Yeah, so you know what I mean. So if you're gonna bring that up, I gotta say, like I said, Skrilla took that shit to a whole nother level, man. That shit, tourist attraction now.
I think also too, probably from when you were doing it to now, social media and posting
changed.
things was different.
Yeah, pre-pandemic, the post.
Like if I put up, if I had a video, right? I had a joint called Addiction, a song called Addiction, where I edited a video and I ended up selling advertising space in the video to a recovery program.
Oh, okay. That's dope.
So if them getting in it is forever because it's a video on YouTube, and at
Right.
the end of the song, that's
Right.
their ad. It's forever. I can't change.
Right.
And I did that, and I had people. When I was shooting it, I had showed some footage. There was one kid up there. I was talking. There was a kid spiking up right behind me, and people would hit me like, "Yo, you might get your gram deleted. Just careful." And I was like, "Shit," you know what I mean? So, but I saw the views it did, and it was like, damn. You start to learn, like, if you show some ratchet ass terrible shit, you can get mad views. But it's like, that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to get big. I didn't want to gimmick it up. Oh, I'm the one who says this and shit like that. No, like, I don't even have a song or nothing. I just got albums you just play through, and that's what got me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what pushed me through is the work. Like I said, it led to the TV show and just fucking.
Yeah, let's talk about the TV show. So basically, the showrunner's husband was a fan of your music.
The writer, Liz Moore. Shout out Liz Moore and her husband Mac, man, and all the other people who had something to do with it. But I got that audition and got it, and I'm an actor now.
Yeah, so Long Bright River.
Long Bright River.
And it's on Peacock.
On Peacock.
Yeah. So what was that experience like acting for the first time?
It was fun. I got to do it with a legend. A few legends, but I mean, Amanda Seyfried is, she made it easy. Nick Pinnock was in it with me. Couple cats. When I seen him, I'm like, people were walking by me, and I'm like, damn, that's dude from The Wire. I'm like, oh shit, that's bro from The Sopranos. And Amanda's on. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like,
I'm in the game now.
yeah, I was like, god damn.
Were you a big Wire fan?
Yeah, I was big. You got to think when that shit was coming out, I was watching it.
Yeah. In real time, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
When that show, that shit educated a lot of people about how the streets are and shit like that. But it also kind of encouraged people to like want to like do it and set their shit up like that.
Right.
And it might have had, like, damn, that's how they doing it.
Right.
Kind of fucking.
What's your favorite season of The Wire? Do you have one?
Probably season 2.
Yeah.
I never watched it, but I'm familiar with it.
It's the same with The Sopranos.
Season 2.
2 and 3.
Sopranos.
I'm big Sopranos.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I was Furio for Halloween.
Matt Del
one year.
Negro from The Sopranos is in the Long Bright River. The
Yeah.
guy, I don't know. Did you watch Sopranos? Do you know Sopranos real well?
I knew
Yeah.
it, but I didn't watch it.
You know it, bro. You know Sopranos. You know who Matt Del Negro is. Remember when Carmela had like a cousin who was always in a suit and had the hair slicked back, tall kid, handsome kid. They all loved him and fucking. Yeah. All of a sudden, he's in the fucking
show that you're in.
He's in the show I'm in, but he's playing like an asshole in the show. He's not the slick back good guy.
What was your character like? I'm gonna go watch it, but what was your character like?
My character is a drug dealer from Kensington.
Oh, okay.
And I guess they added pimping to it a little bit, but it's not the same as out here. It's not like that.
Okay.
But it was just a dope dealer, and they were looking for a girl, and I used to be with her. So her sister's a cop, so her sister's Amanda Seyfried. And, she's coming, and we're playing with guns and all that. And
it's a movie or a show?
it's a show. It's a limited series. So
Okay.
it's a series that ends
Okay.
at the end of the last episode, which is, it's a hurt piece, right? Because people are like, yo, what's up with season 2? Because,
Right.
it ends real, it's a really good joint for me and my character. And there ain't no season 2, but it leaves me open for the next big role.
Right.
And I'm glad I got to play myself kind of on it.
Was it easy?
Yeah, Yeah, it was, I didn't know it was going to be easy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But,
Did you take any preparations like acting school or anything?
I didn't have time.
Right. It was just quick.
I had, yeah. I had Clifton Powell, man, on the phone with me, man. I mean, out of the kind, that guy gets paper for giving acting lessons, and but he knew I was up against the ropes, and he just got on the phone with me and was like, he just gave me some game, and I went in there and that was it, and it went good. We won.
I guess you being in jail, memorizing all those numbers, it came in handy.
Yeah, memorizing, writing rhymes in the cell and having to go battle dudes at yard from fucking Detroit and memorizing shit I'm gonna say so I can go out there and win that food.
Right. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall.
So is that what you usually battle for? It's like
we were in the yard. I'm talking about when I was in jails. When I was in Mercer, they used to call, security would call and say, yo, you guys are in a group of fucking 200 people. It can't happen unless everybody sits down.
Oh, okay.
And he can stand.
The one rapping.
And guys, like, I had the whole yard. I didn't say the whole yard. I had half the yard sitting down. Guards over there. It was something. I ain't gonna say it was great because we was in jail. And the guards were digging it. It was weird.
They fucked with it though.
Yeah, they did. From a distance.
They wanted some entertainment during their shit.
Yeah, and they're like country fucks out there in Western PA too. So I'm sure they weren't too crazy about me either. But yeah, we had I was at a sweet spot. We got out of there, and when I got out of there, I had a good name, and it carried over.
Right.
In the street. But the street shit ain't cool. There's a million better ways. Just I found mine late.
what drew you to it in the first place?
Good question. I
don't know.
That.
Just just being out on my own, wanting to do what I wanted to do. Shit, you gotta think. When I was young, I started first being outside. Everybody wasn't really cell phone. There were cell phones, but it wasn't. Everybody didn't have a phone. Everybody didn't have a cell phone, right?
Right.
So once you were outside, you were kind of really free.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nobody could find you.
You were contactless.
Yep.
So you really be getting into some shit, and the shit I liked getting into, and the people I liked that I felt comfortable with, and the girls that I was pursuing and what they were into, and next thing you know,
you're outside on the block.
You're fucking and it wasn't like.
Is it the way we picture it?
It was the same. It was just me being with the kids I played football with and basketball with my whole life. It wasn't, me going and finding, trying to be something. No, I was already that.
Right.
Like, how have the last few years been? Do you feel like you're living your dream? Was this ever your dream? Did you ever imagine this could happen?
I'm learning that the second I can imagine something can happen, I fucking make it happen. But I didn't know that young. Now I know that. The second I fucking find a route to something being possible in my head, I can imagine. Now I can really imagine it happening because the shit been happening. So the last few years, my perspective's definitely changed. I'm glad it finally happened. Some people get it when they're real young, but you just got to build and manifest and believe in yourself. And people say that, believe in yourself. You think they're just giving you some fucking,
motivational
No,
speech.
it's the realest thing ever, and
But then again, don't you think maybe you had a special gift? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a lot of people that did believe in themselves.
I might have chose to believe in myself doing something the fuck else.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
totally.
because I felt like this was my niche and I liked doing it, and it's like you just keep hitting the ball and it keeps going further and further and further.
Right.
Every time you'd be a fucking fool to stop
Right.
swinging. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
When you were young, did you ever think you could be a rapper, or was that totally out of the...
I'll say seeing Eminem, that first Eminem album come out, and seeing how he was embraced and how he was coming like that, definitely was eye-opening. It was like...
Right. Did you listen to him?
Yeah, them first two albums, yeah, fucking right. And I'm not gonna say I stopped after. Same thing with DMX though, them first 2-3 tapes, I was really.
Yeah, it was the peak.
But then I got deeper into shit, and I was a different type of rapper. I was more of a Styles P, Jadakiss type of rapper. I feel like,
Right.
the shit that he was rapping about was cool, and I'd be like, yo, that's crazy, But it wasn't what I was doing. I was doing other stuff, and I wanted to rap about that, but that shit wasn't popping if you weren't doing it on a fucking dun dun dun.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you weren't doing some shit like that, they weren't trying to hear it. And then, I get out of jail and I'm just hard bar rapping on Instagram and kind of doing my own thing. And eventually I ended up running into like Benny and them, and kind of like cemented the lane for me. And then I got to work with the producers that were in that lane.
Right.
And now I'm, I'll never leave that lane, but like I'm doing other music as well, like
right.
other types of shit.
Yeah, I mean Ocean Eyes, that's a little old, but like that's like
shit. They just took that. I'm getting that beat remade to go back up right now. They just took that shit down. Atlantic, is it Atlantic or Republic?
Yeah.
Shout out one of them.
Whoever's on Billie Eilish.
That means he was making enough noise to get took down.
Yeah.
So that we're reproducing that beat with nothing.
What made you decide to rap over like a Billie Eilish beat? Because it seems like it would be like incongruous.
I fucked with the sample. I fucked with it, and I wanted to make a song for my kids.
She's so down to earth. She probably would clear it.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking her. She probably don't even fucking know.
No, right.
They got new software where the
like
music's got serial numbers now, and it's like boop,
and they just know instantly.
It just gets sent to them, and there's some guy it's probably his job to zap it down.
Oh yeah, that's all he does is sit there.
You know how many takedown notices she probably got for Ocean Eyes?
Right.
I hear that shit sampled a lot. Ever since I did it, I've heard it sampled a lot. So
right.
Yeah, shout out Billie Eilish making it.
Yeah, shout out Billie Eilish.
Letting us keep it up that long.
Yeah. When do you think it was? Like, what moment, or maybe it was something that might have happened to where it really clicked to you, like, okay, like, I'm exactly where I want to be type shit?
I'm not exactly where I want to be financially, so I couldn't really say that yet because I'm in every aspect, I ain't there yet. But, I love my kids. My kids are healthy. You know what I'm saying? They got, they got good parents, that'll do anything for them. And I get to do what I want for a living, and I'm making more and more money every time I swing. So, yeah, it's looking up. You know what I'm saying? It's looking up, but I ain't where I want to be yet. You know what I'm saying?
What does where you want to be look like?
Well, where I want to be is to be able to do my music. Right? You got to think every time I got to go somewhere. What's up, Mac? 10 M's. There you go. J-Mac says 10 million, man. To where I'm able to do what I want to do and be able to be right there for my kids too, right?
Yeah.
So
right.
Financial freedom, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I got shit situated.
Like making money in your sleep type shit.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, the music's getting spun. I mean, every time you drop a project, I tell people it's like planting a rental property. And depending on how the other ones you plant around it do, is how much that's going to be worth. That's the property value of your.
Yeah.
Every time you drop.
So you dropped like 3 this year, yeah?
Yeah. So 3 so far this year, yeah. One we dropped, and then we dropped more songs as a
deluxe, yeah.
Deluxe. So technically, you dropped like 4 times already this year.
Did you always know like the business aspect? Because I know we've gotten some older rappers on here that were like, no, I didn't know how to do the money or the business. Do you feel like you missed out?
Yeah, we all miss out. We're all missing out. You know what I mean? You learn new shit every day, right? But I'm with good people now.
Right.
And things have been, like I said, it's a slow grind, but it's just constantly going up. So.
I ask this question a lot, like to people, but like you seem kind of like a more of an old school guy. Like, how do you feel about like the way that the modern world is shaken out, like the chaos of like the digital life and kind of like all the bullshit that like thrown in front of us every day?
So I keep J-Mac around for it. J-Mac got me. Like he's doing some tech savvy shit right now.
Cause he's young.
Yeah, right. That's my man. My man's only 25 years old, man. So, but like,
shout out to you.
Yeah, man. Shout out my cameraman J-Mac, man. And yeah, I don't know. You got to get with it. It's like even if you're in the streets change.
How did the street change?
The shit you're selling changes. The numbers change. How you got what happens? Like if you put a old hustler who came out of jail right now and told him, and he tried to go get to it, he would be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah,
I mean, things have changed.
I'm sure the drugs changed too.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
The money's changed. How people pay you changed.
Right.
So everything changes, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the morale is different. In Philly, it's still the same. Philly's still standing strong against a lot of other types of thinking, but the rest of the country is different, man. It's different.
Yeah, Philly.
It's different out here.
Philly still feels very like regional. Like
it is, and some people would say, "Oh, well, it's the old way of blah blah blah." In some ways, they're right, but some stuff is like you're still gonna, if you do certain shit, you're not gonna be forgiven as much as other places maybe because you got money. Philly will eat you alive. I'm saying they don't give a fuck. They don't want to show Meek. They don't want to show Meek giving fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars to schools every year, every
Right.
month. They want to play the video of him almost slipping and shit down the steps. You understand?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. They glorify the wrong shit.
Well, and the internet just does that, though. You know, but Philly really's tough. You know, even with the sports. You know, these guys come in and people will die for him, and then the next season people will want to kill him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's because Philly really loves hard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's Philly Philly will be loyal to you if you're loyal to it.
Are you a Pats or Geno's guy?
Neither.
What's your favorite cheesesteak?
I'd have to say right now it's Skinny's.
Okay.
And on the other side of town, I've been eating Steve's. Steve's, yeah, shout out them, man.
When you got out, what was the thing that changed for you that you're like, what the fuck? When did this happen?
When I got out, I got charged with 4 armed robberies, and I went back in, and I had to fight them. And I had a couple thousand saved. You know, I was home a couple months, and bam, I'm back in the county jail. Broke again. You know what I'm saying? Lawyer got a couple of G's. I was in there fighting some case. I don't even understand how I caught it. I didn't do it.
Right.
But it was a life sentence. 100%.
That's
Four separate armed robberies. It's like, but I knew I didn't do it. So I was kind of like, but every day I kept waking up in jail and was like, fuck, you know, and I'm in county now. I just did all this time upstate. We're out, gates are open at fucking 6, 7 a.m. every day. We're out all day unless they're shaking down. You're in the county now. These bitches don't want to come to work. They don't have enough people to open up the block. You're eating in every day. They're just coming to your door with them nasty ass trays and shutting the door. You're eating in. You know, and the county's nasty. You know, the county jail's nasty.
And you're in the
back in Philly County Jail.
That must be horrible.
Just after doing all that time for some shit I didn't do. I mean, I'm not even talking about didn't do. I'm talking about some shit like I was never even down there.
So why did they? What was their reasoning for accusing you? Did they say mistaken?
Some kid who set me up for weed when I was young down there. That first time I got grabbed in Delaware and we found out that Massachusetts wouldn't come get me. I don't know what, you know, and like. I guess I probably ain't even supposed to talk about it, but I really don't give a fuck. I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And I guess they found out I didn't do it. And you know, at preliminary, the shit got dropped, but it got dropped with that prejudice-y shit to where it's like if they could prove or something later on, they could, but I didn't do that shit.
So how long did you have to spend in county at that point?
I was only down fighting it for like a little over a month. But man, it was a long month fighting that bitch, man. Looking at it all the time, it was like, they came at me. They would talk about offering 10 for each one, consecutive, 40 years and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, how am I fight? So that fucked me up. You know what I mean? Because I just, you know? And then I got out from that. And that's when, you know, I got on a couple rap DVDs and started recording. And like 2-3 years later, finally put some on the platforms and realized that's what I had to do.
Right.
So when you got out before you caught the
yeah, when I got out, you know, I was in the halfway house fucking around, and I got out and I'm walking down the street and people are fucking driving by me and I'm sweating and I'm like, yeah, I'm getting busy. And I was getting right back to getting busy, and then boom, I say getting busy, like hustling and trying to fuck around again, and boom, I get a taste of jail again, and I'm like, nah.
So that last time.
Yeah, I was like, man, you know, and I thought about all the dudes who was in jail for shit that they didn't do. And that shit is a fucking nightmare. Like, you know, you be sitting there thinking like, damn, like this is like for all the shit I got away with.
Yeah, I mean, our friend is like he's gone now, but his rapper named Draco the Ruler. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Rest in peace to him.
Yeah, we were friends with him.
Me and Free became really close
sorry
because
loss, man.
thank you. Yeah. When he was in jail and he was locked up basically for something he didn't. The crazy thing is they said they knew he didn't do it, but they were trying to like
make him the mastermind.
It was almost like a RICO case, but they were using California law to basically form the equivalent of a RICO case, and
they were trying to make him the mastermind of the group that he hung out with because it was versatile with. He had like street people and then gang members, but it was all one group he grew up with. So they were trying to make him like the leader of
it. Was very similar to the Young Thug case.
Yeah, whoever's getting the most paper.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That was exactly right. Yeah.
Or whoever's getting the most paper on paper.
Exactly.
That's a good way to
and
put
showing it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're going to get that tag. California, I don't want no smoke with no California law enforcement at all. It's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they give it up different.
Yeah, it's different. I remember I was in Philly before. And like I was on a block, and like I said, it's not racially divided or nothing like that. But like on the block, I was like kind of like the head of the white dudes on that block. Like, you know, basically what that means is like, you know, if you go do some shit and burn the poker table and shit, like I'm gonna check you rather than them.
Than somebody
Well,
else.
but honestly, some of them cats, I'm telling them check them. I don't give a fuck. I mean, it
Right.
ain't really on. But Stu came to the block, and I was more or less checking to see who had rapes and making sure, and anyone had cases on kids, and making sure
Right.
they weren't standing next to me. You know what I
Right.
mean? And dude was like, "Nah, I'm here for a DUI." Pennsylvania just came and got me from L.A. County Jail and drove me all the way the fuck back. I said, they drove you from L.A. County Jail to Philly? He's like, I had to sleep in a different prison every night. They just kept dropping me off at different prisons. He said, PA wanted me. I said, damn, how was the L.A. County Jail? He's like, yo, it was a little more fucked up than this. I said, yeah? I said, yeah. He goes, it's a little more.
Just a pinch?
But he said it. He said, just a little more. But he's like, dude, they're just all fighting.
Yeah,
He's
they
like,
fight.
LA County Jail.
Yeah.
I mean, the couple times I visited, it was
They squab.
title of the new record is "The Wars I've Won." Like, how would you describe?
It was like the third name, like the first name we came up with. I ain't gonna mention it, but the first I couldn't use because some weird dude went and did some shooting shit and said it. They're like, no, don't name I'm that. This dude just did. I'm like, oh fuck, so I named, so I named it something else, and then like the next day, the Charlie Kirk thing happened, and they were like, you can't fucking name it that. I was like, Jesus Christ. You know, I'm getting, you know, I got paper to do this, you know what I'm saying? And also I'm working with other people and it's their baby too, right? Because
Right.
they made, you know, they had a lot of work on it. So I'm never going to be closed ears to somebody. If I
Right.
work with you, I'm going to take into account. I'm not just going to be demonstrative on what I want. And they're like, okay, so we named it The Wars I've Won, and I actually like it a lot.
Yeah, it's a good title.
I like
Yeah,
that.
it's
I was
been
gonna
a
ask
rough
you,
year.
yeah, like what are the like wars that you feel like you have won?
The system.
Where do you begin?
Being out free.
Yeah, I wouldn't say beating it because I gave it a lot of years. You got to think I was in the system on the run or on paper from 18 all the way up to my mid 30s now, you know what I'm saying? So, but, you know, shit, making sure my kids were good, you know, keeping it together, even when I'm not with them. If I'm not with her, there's been times, you know, and you know, me and her split and still trying to keep the fucking everybody up,
Right.
you know, everybody straight. I mean, there's that whole mentality. Then there's keeping the music going, and everybody's trying to, you know, keep you, especially you come home from jail, dudes are trying to help me get union jobs and shit, and I'm like, nah, I'm doing this. They're like, you
Right.
know. So there's a lot of like battles. You know, I never really struggled with addiction really, but like getting too fucked up, having too many drinks, too many nights in a row, all of a sudden you're starting to get out of pocket. It's small wins, you know what I mean? But yeah, just digging yourself up out of holes. You know,
Do you feel like
we don't
when
talk about the ones we lost.
Right. Do you feel like when you got out, you were institutionalized? Because I feel like that's a real thing.
Yeah, well, what's institutionalized? Making sure that when you take a leak, that it don't splatter everywhere, and, you know. So you wipe the seat now, or some cats, if you're in the cell with a bunch of cats that's Muslim, and you see them kind of kneel down to take a leak because it splatters the fuck everywhere, and you're all living in there, and you kind of learn to do that too. You're not doing it to bitch up. You're doing it because you're like, oh, this is a better way.
Yeah.
This way is cleaner.
But I've seen like people like that just got out like pace around a room because
Yeah.
that's what they would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's because they were fucking crazy before they fucking went in.
Before they
That's why
went
they
in.
went in jail.
Yeah.
They got fucking OCD before they went in. But people are gonna be crazy no matter what. You got to think when we were young and in school,
Yeah.
and none of us were on drugs.
Right.
Half the class was fucking crazy.
That's
It's
true.
running around
true
going
because
fucking
I
nuts.
acted a damn fool.
It's like
And I
ADD
never-
now. It's
and
like
I
kids
never
We all
always
did
started
have.
shit.
smoking weed, and
Yeah.
half of us calmed down.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? And then, you know,
And you get older and you kind of learn like you're medicating for this reason. Like
yeah,
for me,
the
like
drugs weren't the problem. The problem was a problem, and you tried to fix it.
Exactly.
With drugs.
Yeah.
But you know,
how do you feel like you were able to kind of like calm yourself down and like be able to like kind of like
fuck, I don't even think I did. I just occupy myself
Yeah.
with shit like this
Yeah.
constantly.
yeah.
That's what I do. And then at the end of the month, I see all the work I did, and it motivates you to keep going. It's almost like going to the
Totally.
gym. You
Right.
see the results. You see the way you start looking good. You see the way other people treat you. It makes you feel good. It's like that, you know. You got to work your own shit up.
Yeah. Do you treat like music like a job, like a discipline?
I guess. I mean,
I mean, are you like regimented? Do you go into, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. There's no. I mean, like there's there's no formula. There's no winning formula other than to keep doing what seems to be like the next right thing.
Yeah.
You know, but I do know that like if I'm down in Philly and I'm not traveling for a couple weeks or a couple months, then I could be at least writing and recording a lot. I could be, you know what I mean? I can be building some way, somehow towards this. And I don't even ever feel like I'm working. I don't feel like I'm working. I don't really do nothing I don't want to do.
Did you have a job when you were locked up?
When I was locked up? Yeah.
What was your job?
Shit, I was the ice man. I didn't want to work in the kitchen. So if you don't find a job quick, they put you in the kitchen. And if you refuse, you go to the twist, you go to the hole. So I got a job. I applied to be the ice man. And that was a great job.
Did they give you an interview in jail for the job?
Yo, I think they fucking do, kind of. You go, you get called in, you know, you get called down, they'll be like, yo, we're about to make you these are the rules, can you handle this? And you'd be like, yeah.
Right.
They'd be like, all right, you're getting fucking 30 cents an hour.
So you made ice for the show?
Nah, I went and grabbed the cooler and had to bring ice to all the blocks.
Oh, okay.
So I had a fucking wheelbarrow with a Gatorade thing on it, full of ice. And I would go there and the guards would dip their pitcher in, have a pitcher full of ice, and then they'd have another pitcher if inmates wanted ice, you know. So that means I was on every block. I'd go block to block to block every day. So, you know, I was moving things from block to block, little things, you know, gambling tickets and shit like that. But then it starts to become a burden because now it's like you're a dickhead if you don't help somebody.
Right.
And you're like, you can get me bagged up. You know what I mean? So it's like I got into a different, you know what my next job was?
What?
The dog program. I swear to God.
Dog program?
The dog program, you know, that you
in the jail?
They put you in a dorm instead of instead of cells. They bring you this building. You get a key to your door. You and your cellie get a room about 4 times the size of a cell, and there's a giant big ass cage crate in there, and you get a dog to train so that they get adopted and they don't get put to sleep. So.
Type of shit y'all got going on in your jail out there.
They're doing a lot of prisons. They're doing. I thought it was just PA too.
That's probably kind of cool though.
Nah,
you got to talk about the dog.
You don't understand. The dog got to take a piss at 2 a.m. He's by the door crying. They got to let you out. You're on the whole compound, walking around at night in the jail.
Damn.
Jail's closed down. You're outside with the dog chilling. Roll up a little spliff, put some K2 in there or something, and go out there. That was what you know what I mean. What it was, but it was like a guaranteed parole shot if you got through that.
So what was the secret to training the dogs well?
Yo, listen, I was just with these people's dog just walked up 2 nights. Where we at? Where's Fergie? Oh, they outside smoking. They'll come in and attest to it. This dog was like running around crazy, little pup. And I did the shit to it and it sat down, gave me its paw. I got it to go down on the ground, roll over. There's just certain shit that they like respond to.
That's cool.
I don't know how to do nothing other than that, though.
What do you think allowed you to survive? Like what like, because obviously, I mean, like there's a lot of pain in your music, so I know that there was a lot of people that didn't make it.
You know, my shit ain't perfect at all. I mean, so I think, I don't judge nobody.
There was like a Bob Dylan quote I was like, where he goes, "You have to be an honest man to live outside the law." And I was like, to survive, and I think to survive for very long, because like if you're not,
because the rules are different, and that's very true.
Is there like a code you keep?
Yeah, I mean, I don't steal from my friends. I don't fucking talk to no police. I don't fuck with nobody's girl. I don't gamble beyond my means.
Were you
Those are pretty important things. You really fucking might get by.
Yeah.
You really might get by.
Because all those things I don't do either.
Yeah, and I there were times when I was younger that I would mess with somebody's girl because right? You're young, you don't give a fuck. Or there were times that I would steal and straight rob people. Never my friends, you know what I'm saying? But there were times I did shit like that when I was, way, way younger and shit. But I went to Philly and I remember seeing people get killed, people dead on the ground waiting for ambulances to come, and like people that got shot, like right on, Frankfurt Ave in Kensington and shit. And I was like, I'm in over my head. Oh yeah, don't do that dumb shit.
Right.
From back home.
Right. At least you
You get killed in Fitchburg doing that shit, but I'm saying like in Philly it was like.
It was a different ballgame.
Yeah, you never want to do something and get fucked over, and when you do, everybody's looking at you like they don't even feel bad for you because it's your own dumbass fault.
Right.
Like if somebody does you wrong and shit and you end up getting fucked up in life, maybe somebody who can come help you back up. But when you're out of bounds and you're doing nut shit and you did some nut shit, it's a bad feeling when you're fucked up and people are like this.
Absolutely.
So I try not to put myself in any situations where I could be like that.
Totally. Do you believe in karma?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Like, in what way do you feel it is true?
I don't know. You know, life just keeps going up and down and back and forth.
Yeah.
Maybe it's karma, you know. If you're here long enough, you'll get, you know, something bad might happen to you and you might blame it on some shit you did and call it karma.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, totally.
But if you move right, you know, and you don't got no negative shit coming at you, that shit might never happen.
It's like in basketball, you know, the shooter's touch.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a good shooter, you'll get the roll. More often than not, you know what I mean? I
Yeah,
feel it's sort of like that.
Yeah, I just, you know, shit. Some people call it karma. Shit, sometimes it's just direct results.
Yeah.
Right.
Direct result. You did
Cause
this.
and
You
effect.
did this thing, and they're not letting it slide, and it's gonna be bad somehow, some way.
We do a thing every week on the show where it's called Unpopular Truth. So it's like basically what is the one truth that you know to be true, but other people might like disagree with you on.
I'd love to hear what some other people have said, but it's called, what is it?
Unpopular Truth. It's like, what's your hot take? But you know in your heart it's true, but like everybody else is just wrong about it.
There's a few things, but let me pick one that ain't gonna fucking get my Instagram deleted.
Yeah, everybody says that.
Do they?
Yeah, because I think they be on timing.
No. Man, you know, unpopular truth is you don't gotta be cool you don't gotta be considered cool. I say this for the kids. You don't gotta be considered thorough or cool really to live a good life. There's a lot of people who stayed out of all the bullshit that I was into, you know, that I put myself into, and they're living real calm, cool, peaceful, successful lives. So I guess what is unpopular truth?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The unpopular truth is you don't gotta be front center and main character mode.
Yeah.
And getting, you don't have to have a big social media to be happy. In fact, the shit probably causes you a lot of stress. So it's cool to just do what you want to do.
I feel like having a big social media, people think it's like you're making a lot of money necessarily, but it's like that
Yeah,
doesn't
and if
necessarily
you don't keep
mean
making moves, you start to feel like you fell off and shit.
Yeah.
You're looking
Right.
at your shit like, damn, I was just on a helicopter with fucking. Now I gotta. Nah, man. Take that pressure off. That shit don't matter, man.
What are the advice you give to your children about the best way to be and live in the world?
I mean, if they fucking stop, if my kids watch my interviews and listen to my music and stuff like that, of course they're gonna be like, damn, Dad's, it's crazy, man. But they know what I try to instill in them is integrity, to always try to do what seems right in your heart and in your head, even when no one's looking. Not for a reward either, just to be a good person, because then you'll be around good people and you'll choose good people. So especially my oldest is 13, my oldest son Logan, and my daughter Alana is 6, and they're in school and they're around a lot of kids, and they're both well liked, well able, good looking kids. And I told my daughter, I said, you were born beautiful, you were born smart, so that I'm proud of you, but that don't impress me. I want to see how good you treat other people, because you're so blessed. And the same thing with my son, and I couldn't be more proud of them. And then my youngest son Connor, who's just getting going, and
How old is he?
he's 4. So
Aw.
he's still, you know what I'm saying, he's still rolling around
He's
with
a
me.
tyke.
I can't wait to get back to them.
So is your oldest a fan of your music?
Yeah, kind of, but you got to think. Imagine growing up in Philly and your dad's a rapper and you're 13. I mean, every time you get in an argument with a kid or something, they probably can bring. But until they can't,
Yeah.
after a
Yeah.
while, success just becomes such a.
Yeah.
They can't really say shit. I make as much as I make more than their dads
Right.
from
Totally.
staying home.
Yeah, yeah. Did that change your life? Like when you had kids, you're just like,
Well, yeah, I came home and met a girl and she had a kid and I made him mine.
Yeah.
He was young, he was 2 and he's mine. You know what I'm saying? And then we had 2 more.
Okay.
So, yeah, it definitely changed things. What the fuck? When I was fighting them armed robberies and shit, she's coming to see me, and little man's running through the visiting room, jumping up, hugging me and shit. Like, I went back to the cell and cried. Cried. Put a blanket right over my head, cried. My cellies all fighting homicides. They're like, hey, man, it's all right, man. You be all right? I'm sitting there like, fuck, man, I'm fighting some little shit. I'm there bitching, crying, like, you know, but your kids will make you know what I'm saying? If you don't cry over your kids, you're a fucking weirdo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
How would you like to be remembered?
I'm starting to feel like I only really give a fuck how I'm remembered by the people closest to me. And, you know, I don't care if I'm like, I mean, if it helps my kids, yeah. I'd like to be remembered in good taste in any way that would benefit my kids. So, however that is, if it's some legacy, the best rap, I don't say the best, but this type of rapper, this person's fit, whatever, however it is. If that's how it goes, cool. I appreciate it. I love it. I appreciate everybody saying nice things about me. If that is the legacy that's going to help my kids out of a jam someday or keep them financially somewhere where they, you know, they would have been somewhere bad if it didn't, that's what I want to leave. So even if it's just paper, even if it's just properties,
Right.
let my legacy be a plethora of real estate.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
So what's next for you, before we go?
A lot coming up. About to hit Europe on this tour. About to go back out there with Benny. I've never been to Europe. I got the passport at the house. We're good to go.
Were you done?
And no, just auditioning for more shows. That's it.
Okay. What's the one thing that you want people to take from you as a person and from your music?
That sometimes it might take longer, but you don't have to chase a gimmick or a viral thing. And if you really do make good product, whatever your product is that you make, if you're just honestly making good product, and you know what I'm saying, you don't oversell it. It'll sell itself, and you'll be all right. You know, just stay yourself.
Right. Stay yourself. All right. Well, thank you for coming through.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Shout out to Gold Diggers.
Yeah, shout out Gold Diggers, Truth Hurts.